BodyBags, where horror lies.
Hey guys, Rob from Georgia here with you, aka VHS82 apostrophe. It is week 525 here at BodyBags. It is label week. It is Warner Brothers. We needed something easy, man. Something that I knew everyone had something from Warner Brothers, right? But I'm dipping into deep into the archives by a film from 1978, a made-for-TV movie, Tsugunobu Kotani. The director, I had to get that out of the way, man. Glenn, aka BDG Reviews, our Monday reviewer, just help me with that real quick. I think I got it. I think that's the way he said it to me. But Kotani, man, the director, made for TV. What we're talking about, of course, is the Bermuda Depths. This is one of the rare few times that we lift up a film. Well, not if it's not if Glenn's reviewing or even Lonnie, James. Well, gee, heck, most of them. Usually when I lift up a movie, most of you have probably already seen the movie or you at least know of the movie. But this is one. This is one you might not be aware of. Now, I'm 53, so, born in 70. By 80, I'm turning 10, and the decade that is the 80s is just, coming down upon us. And what a decade that was as a kid to grow up into. But I had already seen, Jaws in the theater at a really young age of 5. Jaws 2, when that came out to the theater. There was a few 70s movies, a lot of trips to the drive-in, glimpses of It Lives, or It's Alive, the Mutant Baby film. Plenty of trips to the drive-in. So, that's my age. But I remember the made-for-TV phenomena that was like ABC Monday Night at the Movies, or NBC Sunday Night at the Movies, or whatever it is. And I've got a plethora of memories, some of which I don't think some of these movies have ever seen the light of day in terms of even a VHS release, although a few have. But the Bermuda Depths is one of those weird ones that I do remember really vividly. In fact, it really wasn't that surprising to find out that Warner Brothers had added it to its archive collection. Again, it is an American, probably a Japanese-American production. I think the makers, if I remember right, the makers, the producers, their big staple was the Ultraman franchise. So again, a Japan-U.S. production. It also has the cinematographer who is really known for his work with Jacques Cousteau. If you remember, as a kid, in the 70s, you remember the wide world of, I don't know, I can't remember exactly what it was called, Omaha's Wide World, something like that. I'm getting mixed up with ABC's Wide World of Sports, I know. But the Omaha thing in terms of nature, or not nature, but it is, but it's kind of a weird way to say it. But you had Jacques Cousteau's undersea, what was it called? The Undersea World of Jacques Cousteau. And for the longest time as a kid, I wanted to be a marine biologist, and I just soaked that stuff up, man. Anyways, the cinematographer of the Bermuda Depths was Cousteau's main guy on that, which I thought was really interesting. The one of the main makeup guys was known for early movies that I would have remembered as a kid: Nighthawks, Sylvester Stallone, and crap, I can't remember who his partner was. Was it Billy D. Williams? Maybe no, Carl Weathers. It was one of those, I think. The Addams Family, actually, still working in the early 90s with the Addams Family movies. But anyways, the main thing here is it's a Japanese American production. It is a kaiju film, really. I would have never known that terminology as a kid, of course. This movie is about a giant sea turtle. It's a bit of a slow burn. If you've never seen it before and somehow you get your hands on it or find it streaming somewhere, I'd advise first time through, probably should not put it on too late at night unless you're just naturally wired to not fall asleep easy late at night watching. It is a bit of a slow burn. It takes a while for things to happen. In fact, the turtle, the giant sea turtle, really plays a major back part to the film, which is really funny because as a kid, I would have been 8, seeing this for the first time on TV on, whether it was Monday night or Sunday night or whatever it was, probably in the summertime. So that's probably why I was up that late at night. But all I remembered from this movie was the giant sea turtle. Seemingly, I remember just wrecking havoc. And so my memories as an 8-year-old kid was just, this was a monster sea turtle that was just bent on destroying things. And that's not what this is at all. It's amazing when you revisit a film with minor memories intact, or at least what you think are intact, right? And this was... I'm not saying I don't regret picking this up because it is definitely nostalgia bait all the way. And there are moments where, when they kick in and I sort of remember, or at least, think about, how I remembered it. It doesn't quite meet how I thought I remembered it. It's not as impactful, although it is an intriguing movie. It's really kind of a love story about a boy played by Leigh McCloskey, who plays this kid named Magnus. Carl Weathers is in it, actually. He's maybe the most intriguing role in the whole movie. He actually really, really does a pretty good job. Connie Sellecca is our Jenny. She is sort of like our... siren. She's kind of like that ghost of the sea. She's sort of made a pact in the midst of a shipwreck. If her life was spared, the agreement was she would keep her youthfulness, but was always at the beck and whim or whatever of that which she devoted her life to, which is sort of mixed on who she was praying to, but in this case, she's sort of linked to this massive giant sea turtle. And then she, of course, you got Magnus's character, who as a young boy remembers this girl that was in his life, but she would come from the ocean, and he just thought she was a girl that lived down the road in a house on the beach or something. And so, but their love is sort of intertwined, and it kind of carries you all the way through the film. So it's almost some Lovecraftian minor things going on in a way, slightly, ever so slightly. But it is a kaiju film, and Carl Weathers he plays sort of your Ahab character, where you've got the big surprise here is the guy who plays Paulis is Burl Ives, who was the voice of Sam the Snowman. We've all know that, right? And so he's sort of like the main scientist who's out there studying abnormal growth of sea creatures. Carl Weathers is sort of his right-hand man, but he is sort of your Ahab character. And once he gets it in him that he's got to be the one to take down this turtle, there's nothing that's going to stop him, ultimately leading to his own demise, right? Is how this usually goes. This was definitely an ABC release. Actually, it's funny, now that I'm looking at the date, it looks like it was January 27th, 78. I don't know if that was the date it first appeared on TV, but it is a Arthur Bankin Jr. Production. Of course, Warner Brothers has the rights right now. And so, really, that's... you got some environmental messaging in. I think the director, after filming this in Bermuda, fell in love with Bermuda and just decided to live the rest of his life there in Bermuda. It is a beautiful place, and it is captured pretty well, I might say, on film. So, I don't know. It's one of those movies where if you're intrigued by made-for-TV things from the 70s, you're a kaiju fan, and intrigued by the idea of a giant sea turtle, although it's not really at the forefront of much of the film. It's got its scenes and stuff, but mostly it comes at the end when you got the Carl Weathers and him going at it there towards the end. Miniatures are involved, which is really super cool to see, especially if you're a fan of Antonio Margheriti, right? And the use of models and miniatures and all of that. Got some of that going on in here, which is pretty cool. I don't mind it. I love it. I don't care. I'd rather see that than shoddy CGI any day of the week. But yeah, really, I think that's about it. I think that's all I really want to say. It's there's the back of it. You kind of get the idea of the turtle, the sea creature, which is sort of really, looks like a kaiju uh, creature. Yeah, it was interesting. Really interesting. Yeah, it was not quite what I remembered, but you know what? Neither was this one, Up from the Depths, and I have really strong memories on that one. What a fabulous Scream Factory double feature release on that. Or was it Shout? Yeah, Shout actually. Shout. Somebody was it, the Roger Corman's cult classic. Mostly the ending. I thought I had real concrete memories on how this ended. And when I revisited it first time, I was sort of let down a little bit by just how my memories are and what was actual film, right? So, but that's how it generally is. When you get up to my age and and you get an opportunity to get something like this in your hands and you revisit it first time in forever. Reminds me though, I'll tell you what I would love to get in my collection is, what is it? Barracuda, that water creature feature film, Barracuda. I would love to have that in my collection. So anyways, you want to take a trip down memory lane into the TV made for TV cinema of the 70s. It's not a bad film. It's not a bad film. And plus, Carl Weathers is really fun. And if you haven't seen him in a lot of things, add this to the list of things that you've seen him in, because it is definitely worth checking out just for him. He plays an interesting character. So here we are to week 525. It is Warner Brothers week, all week long from the label of Warner Brothers, and then into another random, and then on into the rest of the month. I hope your Halloween was great, your 31 days of horror. And don't forget, man, I got some X-Files episodes. We're about to finish off season 1. In fact, that's the next thing on my list right now, is once this is done, is throw on my X-Files and review the last 2 of season 1. So there's that as well. So anyways, thank you for your support. Thank you for just clicking in and checking it out, and drop a comment. If you have any old memories of or have in your collection old made-for-TV stuff from the 70s I might have forgotten about, drop it down in the comment section. Always we end these things off with Go Bills. And by the way, how about my dogs, man? Laying the hammer down on Ole Miss, man. Was it 52-17? On our way to another SEC championship game, another match with Bama. So it's what it is, man. But anyways, Go Bills.
This is not a dream. Not a dream.
We might be using